Hi, Taehyung lovers all around the world. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers Worldwide channel, a channel that has always stood on the front line to spread the kindness, influence, and peaceful aura of Kim Taehyung to every corner of the world. But today, stop for a moment, just 3 seconds. Don't scroll, don't blink, because February 2026 did not arrive as an ordinary marker time. It arrived carrying one name that forced the entertainment world, the scientific world, and the world of aesthetics to stop and turn their heads at the same time. Kim Taehyung. Imagine one face, one nearly impossible number, 99.8% close to perfection, and suddenly world-class surgeons, Hollywood standards, and analogies to genius scientists converge in the same global discussion. This is not a rumor, not phantom delusion, and not empty praise. It is a sequence of data, analysis, and phenomena that leaves many people both amazed and uncomfortable at the same time. The question is no longer whether Taehyung is handsome, but why the world seems to agree, and why this fact ignites heated debate everywhere. So make sure you watch until the end, because what we discuss next may change the way you view global beauty standards. Don't forget to like, share your opinion in the comments, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and help make this content go viral, so the world continues to see the kindness, influence, and peaceful aura of Kim Taehyung. February 2026 did not merely arrive as a passage of time. It came carrying one name that forced the world to pause and look together. Kim Taehyung, marking a rare moment when entertainment, science, and aesthetics met at the same point, not in the form of theory, nor merely as fan opinion, but through a series of pop culture reports, cross-disciplinary discussions, and database visual analyses circulating widely across multiple countries. Amid the global noise, one fact emerged and disrupted many perceptions. Kim Taehyung's face was analyzed as having up to 99.8% symmetry, approaching perfection, an extreme figure that almost never appears in studies of human facial proportions. This number is not mere sensationalism. In the world of aesthetic medicine, facial symmetry is a serious parameter that has been used for decades by leading plastic surgeons worldwide to assess harmony and structural balance. The name Dr. Paul Nassif, a U.S.-based facial and rhinoplasty specialist widely known to the program Botched, is often cited as a primary reference in international discussions on ideal nasal structure and facial balance. Nassif's principles, clean nasal lines, natural proportions, and continuity with facial bone structure, consistently appear in visual analyses of Kim Taehyung's face. A similar approach aligns with the philosophy of Dr. Youn, a renowned plastic surgeon who rejects instant aesthetics and emphasizes long-term natural harmony. Youn repeatedly stresses that an ideal face is not about manufactured perfection, but about biological balance that requires no extreme correction. In many modern aesthetic discussions, Kim Taehyung's face is cited as an example of how natural harmony can transcend trends and time. From East Asia, Dr. Myung Ju Lee, an internationally recognized South Korean facial and rhinoplasty expert, is known for a precision-based Asian approach, subtle, measured, and resistant to aggressive alteration. Many aesthetic observers believe Kim Taehyung's facial structure aligns closely with Lee's principles, a symmetrical yet gentle jawline, balanced contours, and expressions that remain alive without artificial tension. Meanwhile, global modern aesthetic standards often reference Dr. Jason B. Diamond, an elite Hollywood facial surgeon whose clients include top-tier global celebrities. Diamond is known for intervening only when correction is truly necessary, and notably, Kim Taehyung's face is frequently mentioned in public discussions as an example of structure that requires no touch at all. The name Dr. Begovic, a facial surgeon renowned for high-precision techniques and minimal scarring, also appears in this discourse. The principles represented by these figures form a global framework for evaluating facial balance in public figures, and Taehyung stands right at its center. However, the Kim Taehyung phenomenon does not stop within the medical realm. This is where the narrative becomes more provocative and even unsettling for some. The scientific world, while not literally studying a K-pop idol's face, is often used as a metaphorical lens to explain this level of precision. Names such as Alan Guth, the physicist behind cosmic inflation theory, and Peter Higgs, the discoverer of the Higgs boson, are frequently invoked in cultural discussions as symbols of extreme mathematical balance. How something that appears simple is actually built upon structures that are nearly impossibly perfect. This analogy is not a scientific claim, but rather a modern cultural language used to describe facial symmetry that is perceived as beyond coincidence. In the fields of health and data-driven accuracy, Li Longwan, a globally respected epidemiologist, is often used as a symbol of analytical precision, while Kim Taehyung, the world record-holding genius, represents the peak of human potential. Within this narrative construction, Kim Taehyung's face is positioned as an extreme representation of human perfection, not intellectually, but in visual and biological harmony, a position that makes many people uncomfortable, yet difficult to refute. The impact is not an illusion. Aesthetic clinics across Asia, Europe, and North America have reported consistent demand trends over recent years, intensify again in early 2026. These requests follow a clear pattern. A natural nose line like Kim Taehyung's, a firm yet non-aggressive symmetrical jaw, naturally preserved eyelids, and a smile that many visual analysts say can lock attention within seconds. Taehyung's face has gradually shifted from belonging to a single idol into a universal reference for modern male aesthetics. Then came February 2026, when Kim Taehyung was seen in Lisbon, Portugal, during the filming process for BTS's comeback project. Instead of fading, his presence grew louder. Global social media was flooded with analyses, screenshots, and visual comparisons. International voting across various platforms once again showed near absolute results. Kim Taehyung dominated as the most handsome man in the world, surpassing cultural, racial, and regional differences. What made the phenomenon even more shocking was his physical transformation. The year 2026 recorded a more athletic physique for Kim Taehyung, the result of consistent gym routines and his love for sports. The combination of a face judged as nearly perfect in symmetry and a strong physique created an image that is difficult to rival. He does not meet just one standard. He unites them all. At this point, an emotionally charged and controversial question emerges. Is the world collectively agreeing on a new beauty standard, and is that fair? Some feel provoked, even angry. Others see it as proof of how global culture chooses its own symbols. Yet one thing is hard to deny. The consensus is real, even though it was never officially declared. In the end, this is not merely a story about the handsomeness of a K-pop idol. It is a report on a global phenomenon, how one face, supported by references to world-class doctors and analogies to genius scientists, is accepted by the international public as a standard of human harmony. February 2026 records a silent global agreement. Kim Taehyung is no longer just a celebrity. He is a cross-disciplinary phenomenon. And at this point, one thing becomes clear. February 2026 was not merely time passing. It was a moment when the world, consciously or not, made a silent agreement around one name, Kim Taehyung. Not because of unilateral claims, not because of blind fanaticism, but because of a continuous echo of data, medical analysis, scientific symbolism, and global response. Yet this story is not truly finished. In fact, this is where the question hangs sharply in the air. Is this the peak, or just the beginning of a new standard that will continue to spark debate? Thank you for watching until the end. Taehyung lovers, don't forget to like. Share your thoughts in the comments. Agree or disagree. Your voice matters. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next discussion. If you enjoyed this content, help spread it. If not, feel free to skip it, because the Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. See you in the next video, because Kim Taehyung's story, like February 2026, always leaves a question mark behind.